This is you, except you don't have friends, and you have decided to change that.
Let's go.
It worked. You're in a car crew and you got bunch of friends. Okay, but what now? I've joined the crew and what do I do? That's what we are going to cover in this video. This is the Outlaws Ultimate tutorial. You somehow joined our server. You've also completed all the steps like writing your nickname, reading meet rules, checking meet themes, visiting meet announcements, and also reading frequently asked questions. Let's say you've got your car ready for upcoming meet. It's your first one and you are very curious. And here is the first challenge, arriving to the meet. Here is how not to do it. So let's have a quick recap of what went wrong. Let's see now how to arrive properly. As you can see, we are driving slowly. There is no rush. Now we need to look for an empty spot. After choosing it, try to park as careful as you can. Perfect! You have successfully arrived at the meet. Now here are some more things that you should know. Let's say this is your ride. We'll call it Rock. And this is your second car. Let's call it Rose. You like Rock, but you prefer Rose. What now? Can you switch? The answer is yes, but no. If you just arrived to the meet, and if we aren't moving to the first spot, then sure. You can switch the car as long as it's not on second, third, fourth, and so on spot. Okay, everyone arrived at the meeting spot, and then meet leader sends this message. We are moving to the spot. Follow me. That means that the meet leader is going to guide us to the next spot. And here's the next challenge. It's not difficult at all. Just driving in one line, right? Well, not really. Wait a second. Oh look, here's the first mistake. Now let's reverse. Look, here's the leader and here is our car. Instead, it should have looked like that. Leader in the front and our car behind him. Now look at this. Constant tire marks and smoke. It looks very unnatural. And another sign, the lifted front. But what could this mean? The answer is easy. Modified car handling. You see, any handling mods and overall any modifications are not allowed at our meets. It's the first rule in our meet guidelines. We got mods covered, so let's move forward. Let's say that you have to quickly go AFK, or someone is calling you meanwhile you are in cruise. That's when you have to put yourself aside, allowing other cars to pass you. And that is the only moment that others can overtake you, except if you have a slow car and you allow others to safely pass you. Our another topic is brake checking. Brake checking is not allowed on our meets. It destroys our cars and smooth cruise. The rule also applies to jumping, ramming and blocking others. If you don't feel confident about your driving skills, try to remain in the back of crews instead of front. And what do we have now? I see, it's the weapons. Clearly weapons are not allowed on our meets. That also includes fireworks, flares and melees. The only allowed weapon is flashlight. Until you don't hit anyone or anything, feel free to use it. Let's say you accidentally ran an NPC over or hit a police car. Because of this, you got wanted level. Basically, in that case, you can call Lester, bribe police with your CEO, or ask staff for help. It turns out that you unfortunately crushed your car. Driving with damaged car doesn't look too good, and if it causes your car to steer differently, it could cause more damage. If your car is demolished, you can pull aside, recall your car, or ask staff for help. If you see the meat leader stopping on the side of road, do not overtake or ram into him. Brake smoothly and wait patiently. It's possible that he is writing some announcement on the chat, checks the route, has to go AFK for a second, or has some technical issues. Most probably he will resume soon after stopping. When you are cruising with others, please remember to drive in one line. Driving next to others looks bad and isn't allowed. After showing what's allowed on the cruise and what isn't, I think that the cruise rules are clear. Let's now step into another section. After smooth cruise with your mates, it's time to take a break at the next spot. Pretty much most of the first section rules apply to our spot rules, except you cannot change your car anymore. Of course, there are some pretty straightforward rules like no fighting. But still remember about parking slowly and carefully. No rush equals no scratches or damage. Did I mention that weapons are also not allowed on spot? Well, now you know. After you've parked, you can get out of your car, but don't drive it. In fact, don't use any vehicle. Planes are surely fun, but that's why we have airshow crew, so you don't end up like that. Oh yeah, back to fighting. Punching is also not allowed, and tasing too. Also, don't try to drift on spot, except if we have drift theme and prepared place for that. I know that accidents happen, but avoid situations where you and your mate have very similar cars. Also, don't copy someone's build. What you're seeing here is a bunch of armoured or weaponed vehicles. Of course they aren't allowed. That includes door armour, window armour, and just any kind of armour. Also, any weapons aren't allowed, except if staff gives you permission. So this is the end of part 1. In next part we're going to talk about best of show rules, special events rules, and more. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.